Forward paddling with less effort so you don't get tired. The most obvious paddle stroke, and yet one that many people get wrong. Not massively wrong, but enough to make their kayaking tiring, less fun, and sometimes very frustrating. And we have all been there, frantically splashing the paddle around and making absolutely no difference to the direction or speed of the kayak. In this video, we'll get my 10 steps to save energy, increase paddling distance, and have more fun when paddling forward. Let's start at the beginning. The purpose of paddling forward is to propel the kayak at a reasonable speed to cover a distance. Depending on the current, this can be easy or difficult. Step 1. Correct hand position. Most paddles have some kind of marking that represents where the palm of your hands need to grip the paddle. Your paddle is a lever, so any off balance one way or the other will transfer unequal force to the paddle blade and encourage the kayak to turn. Holding the paddle on your head and keeping your elbows at right angles like this shows you the exact middle of the paddle and the perfect place for your hands. Step 2. Your paddle action. For efficient paddling, the paddle should windmill with each blade entering the water and moving in an oval to enter the water again. The middle of the kayak shaft should be at upper chest level. Keeping the paddle shaft here means you are using your shoulders to pull your paddle strokes through. This is far less tiring as your shoulders are much stronger than your lower arms. Step 3. Correct paddle grip. As you paddle, the paddle shaft needs to rotate between your palm and fingers. The grip needs to be tight enough to hold the paddle and loose enough to allow it to rotate freely. A common mistake is to grip too tight, which wastes energy. Step 4. Equal pulling stroke. Most people have one arm stronger than the other. If you are right-handed, it is usually your right arm. This makes a critical difference when paddling a kayak. For a right-handed person, the right arm is exerting more force than the left arm. It's not much, but it's enough to push the front of the kayak slightly to the left. This small movement then requires extra effort on the weaker left arm to compensate. After a while, this can become tiring and frustrating. So, apply about 70% effort to your dominant arm during normal paddling. At first, this will feel strange, but after a while, it will become natural and you'll feel the difference in your arms. Step 5. Blade in the water. Each time the paddle blade enters the water, it must do so fully. The whole of the paddle face should be pulling against the water. This will transfer the maximum force to your forward paddling. Step 6. Body facing forward and upright. Turning or leaning your torso one way or the other has a tendency to try and turn the kayak. Keeping your body facing forward minimises this and helps to keep a straight track. Step 7. Micro adjustments. As you are paddling, you should increase or decrease the power on each paddle stroke to make adjustments in the direction of the kayak. Small changes in power are best as these are less likely to make big changes in the overall direction and disrupt your forward paddling. Step 8. Look where you are going. As you are paddling, you should be looking towards the point you are paddling to. Focus on something in the distance and use this as a marker to keep the kayak pointing in the correct direction. Step 9. Breathing. Your forward paddling will be using your muscles in your shoulders, torso and legs. To continue to fuel these muscles, you should be breathing deeper and regularly. Step 10. Practice, practice, practice. You must practice forward paddling. Take time to work on each of the steps in this video. As your technique and strength improves, you'll find it easier and less tiring to paddle forward. Thanks for watching and see you on the river.